Studios. In this episode, I'm going to be providing you with a sneak peek of user interviews. So user interviews is just one tool that you can use to better understand your end user. And this is part of a wider approach, which is human-centered design. Our team loves human-centered design. It's had such a great impact on our projects, and this is just one of the tools that we use to meet that approach. So user interviews are basically an opportunity for you to meet with the people that you are designing for, to ask questions, to understand what their life is like, and to really empathize with them and their needs. So there's a really great quote here which I think describes user interviews really well. It's by Steve Portigal, and it says, "Interviews create connections between builders and customers. It makes the problems tangible and human." And I think that's exactly what it does. It helps you understand how your problem actually plays out in the real world and the people that are impacted by it. What are their needs? What do they need to do to be able to help you solve your problem? And through understanding your end users, it can really help you create a fit-for-purpose solution. So I'm going to be referring to our human-centered design playbook. It shows you everything that you need to know to be able to conduct user interviews. So our team has been using human-centered design for quite some time now, and from that we have learnt quite a lot, and we've come up with our own process for human-centered design. User interviews are just a part of that process. So in the human-centered design playbook, you can see there's a preparation guide. So it tells you everything that you need to know to prepare for your interviews. So things like who you're going to invite, who are you going to invite to the interviews, and who are you going to interview? How long should the interview go for, and how many people should you be interviewing? You don't want to overcommit to interviewing a large group of users because this can take a lot of time. It's about interviewing a sample that will provide you with enough information and a representation of your user group. So in that preparation guide, it tells you everything you need to know to be organized and do what you need to do to organize those interviews. Other things in the guide are tips. So from our experience of conducting user interviews, we have realized things that are important that you need to do for them to be successful. So one of them, for example, is having an interview sidekick. So if you're going to interview, you want to be able to focus your attention on asking questions and making the interviewee feel comfortable. So by having an interview sidekick, they can be recording notes, observing, and basically making notes and records of everything that's happening in the interview so that you can refer to it later. So that's just one of the tips. You can see here there's a few different tips with instructions on what you would need to do. Another thing is having a user interview template. So you can see here we've got our questions, and then from those questions we record notes of what the user has answered. So you can take that into the interview with you when you're interviewing. User interviews are seriously amazing. It gives you so much insight into who you're designing for, and it completely can change the way that you design your product or solution. So if you would like to learn more about user interviews, please check out our human-centered design playbook. It runs you through everything that you need to know. Otherwise, have a look online and figure out how you can incorporate it into your process, because it's seriously such a great tool to use if you're wanting to apply human-centered design to your project. That's it for this video. Thanks so much for listening, and have a great day.